Today, Intel's first ARC GPU goes on sale, Apple lied, your AMD GPUs just got much faster, this RX 7000 is a beast, and AMD's new CPU officially can't do this. Welcome everyone to Gamer Melt. First up for today, Intel's first ARC GPU officially went on sale yesterday. Unfortunately, it was later taken down, but it's obvious that we're finally going to see what Intel has been working on all these years. The chip was spotted on BH Photo Video and was included in a Samsung 15.6-inch Galaxy Book 2 Pro notebook. So yes, this is a mobile Alchemist GPU, but you can see down here that it is a discrete ARC graphics card. Unfortunately, the listing didn't tell us exactly which GPU it uses, but Video Cards is guessing either the A350M or A370M. Either way, the notebook comes in at $1,349.99, so not a high-end laptop, but also not the low end either. Now, if you're ready to build your PC, or you just need to upgrade, go to the place I trusted to build components for my first ever gaming PC, Micro Center, a PC builder's heaven, and they've sponsored today's video to bring my viewers a great deal. But before I get to that, what makes Micro Center so special? Well, besides the fact that they have some of the best prices in the industry, they actually have huge physical stores that you can go to and actually see all the parts of your build. And they've got everything, from a wall of motherboards to water cooling parts, tons of cases, and anything else you'll need to build a PC. So you've got to check it out. But if that didn't convince you, Micro Center is offering my viewers $50 off select CPUs for new customers. And if you add their $20 off select motherboard and CPU bundles, you can save $70. So there's no reason not to go. Just visit the link in the description to get your coupon today. Next up for today, if you saw my video on Apple's new M1 Ultra chip, you know that the company made the claim that their 64-core GPU could actually beat NVIDIA's RTX 3090, and not just beat it, but beat it with 200 watts less power. Well, that looks to be a load of as The Verge recently put Apple's new processor to the test. And as you can see, in both a Geekbench 5 compute test and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the 3090 completely crushes Apple's M1 Ultra. In fact, the compute test has the 3090 getting over double the performance. Now, that's not to say this isn't impressive. I mean, the M1 Ultra uses an integrated GPU. Well, technically 2 integrated GPUs combined with Apple's new interconnect, but still, that's not bad at all. But it certainly shows Apple's marketing is full of it. And I'd really be more impressed if the new Mac Studio didn't set you back over $6,000. But alas, Apple is certainly getting far with their in-house chips. I just wouldn't believe their marketing until you can see it for yourself. Next up, AMD just released their newest Adrenalin drivers, and with it comes a huge new feature, along with some others like an updated AMD Link, Radeon image sharpening, and more. But the biggest thing here is that it finally brings support for AMD's Radeon Super Resolution. If you don't remember, Radeon Super Resolution, or RSR, is AMD's driver-based upscaling that literally works on every game, as long as it has an exclusive full-screen mode, so the vast majority of games. Right now, it does require the RX 5000 series and above, but this is a huge deal because it doesn't require support from game developers. As you can see, they show 3 modes that upscale to 4K, 1800p, which would give you the highest quality but the least amount of frames, all the way down to 1080p. To turn the feature on, simply go into your AMD software, enable it, then turn down your resolution, and the driver does the rest. Oh, and you'll notice I called it AMD software instead of Radeon, and that's because AMD looks to be getting away from the Radeon branding, as they're now calling it just AMD software. Either way, the new driver is available now, so if you have one of AMD's supported cards, I would definitely suggest updating. Next up, in a new tweet from known leaker Greymon55, he made some pretty huge statements about AMD's next-gen RX 7000 GPUs, specifically their Navi 33 GPU, which would make up their RX 7600 XT, 7600, etc. Well, according to him, the card is set to get a whopping 22.9 teraflops of FP32 compute at 2.8 GHz, which is just under the 6900 XT. But given this is a new architecture, the actual gaming performance is likely better, and Greymon55 is claiming that Navi 33, so the mid-range 7600 XT could be faster than the 6900 XT. And this isn't the first time we've heard this. Remember that Reg Gaming Tech heard something similar from his sources, meaning the next-gen mid to low-end GPUs will potentially be able to beat the current highest-end card. That's a massive jump in performance. Not only that, but he's thinking, or at least hoping, that it comes in between 220 to 250 watts, which is much better than AMD's current 300 watt 6900 XT. At the end of the day, AMD's next-gen GPUs are set to dominate. Let's just hope they don't dominate our wallets as well. And lastly for today, as I went over in my last video, AMD officially announced the release date and pricing for their first 3D V-Cache chip, the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. Well, during an interview with Hot Hardware, AMD's Robert Halleck was asked about a rumor that I briefly discussed a little while back.
Will 5800X 3D support overclocking, and if not, why?
In his reply, after going over the fact that the CPU's voltage is capped lower than their regular 5000 parts, he says this.
So, we are not going to allow overclocking, CPU core frequency overclocking, or core voltage adjustment, because out of the box, the design of the chip already uses and ranges up to that voltage and frequency limit.
Well, there you have it. The rumor has been confirmed, and the 5800X 3D does not include support for overclocking. Robert Halleck further goes on to say that the CPU does support overclocking the Infinity Fabric as well as memory, but the core clock of the CPU will not be adjustable. I will say that I'm a bit disappointed in this, especially given a recent benchmark of the 12900KS shows that it can beat AMD's 5950X. Of course, that's likely been pushed to the limit, so we'll have to see how well the 5800X 3D stacks up in gaming. Time, as always, will tell. So while that does it for today, what do you think about the lack of overclocking on AMD's new chip? Or what about their next-gen GPUs? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And as always, have a great day.